Welcome to the Over the Edge podcast. I am your host, Karen Coulter. Please welcome my co-host extraordinaire, Karen Wolf, who is the Chief Experience Officer at Over the Edge. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen. Thanks so much. I'm so excited for today's show as we're going to be diving into all things Over the Edge events that are tied to specifically Union Rescue Mission of Los Angeles. We're going to get to interview the amazing Richard Newcomb, the VP of Philanthropy and Social Enterprise, as well as catch up with our building partner, Chelsea Kammeyer. She's the Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Sun Hill Properties, and specifically Hilton, which is the building they use. So, and this is going to be all during our Over the Horizon segment. So we're really excited. Yeah.
That sounds incredible. But first of all, like always, we have to take care of some business, and in true Over the Edge style, we'll rappel down the sides of some buildings with our sponsors. The first sponsor is Over the Edge Events. They're looking to energize your donors, your sponsors, your volunteers, and ultimately the entire city by doing something that separates your charity from all others, from the crowd, by literally hanging over it. So how could you not stand out, right? Over the Edge has raised over $135 million for charities all over the world, and you can check them out at overtheedgeglobal.com.
And let's not forget, the Over the Edge podcast is also brought to you by Columbia Sportswear. Stay warm as those temperatures drop this winter with the Omni Heat Affinity. It reflects your body heat to keep you warm. And of course, after warming hearts with this podcast and all the great things accomplished by Union Rescue Mission, you would be warm the entire winter. Find Columbia at your leading retailer and order directly at columbia.com or columbiasportswear.ca.
That's incredible.
I came from Columbia this morning as there was snow out. It has been wonderful working with Richard and Union Rescue Mission over the last 5 years. I first met Richard early 2019, and I remember one of the very first questions Richard asked me was, what has been our top grossing Over the Edge event? And he automatically set out on a path to beat that record. And it's just been amazing to see their event has taken a life of its own. And I will tell you that he has beaten that record. And
Why doesn't that surprise me?
has since beaten his own record.
Oh, wow. And I think we have Richard with us now, if I'm not mistaken. Hello, Richard. How are you?
There he is.
Hi, welcome, Richard. It's so incredible to have you with us. I've been really looking forward to it after all of the wonderful things Karen has said about you. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thrilled to be here. I wouldn't believe a word of anything she told you.
Too late. It's recorded.
All good things.
I was recruited onto the board by the CEO, Andy Bales, who 10 years ago, 2013, I was an executive in the fashion industry for over 30 years. And Andy recruited me onto the board. I had interacted with other nonprofits doing wine tastings to drill water wells in Africa, fight poverty here in LA, a lot of walk events and whatnot. And I joined the board in 2013, and I brought a lot of energy and ideas. And Andy and the board kept watching that, and we're like, how do we get Richard here on staff? And they tried in 2017, late 2016. I said, I just can't take the benefit cut and the pay cut and all that. And, I'd love to do it, but I just can't. My wife won't let me do it. And so they hired somebody from academia who lasted 15 months, I'm sorry to say, or happy to say, because otherwise I wouldn't be here right now. Mm-hmm. And so I retired from the fashion industry in the summer of 2018, joined here. So I've been here a little over 5 years. And the organization, that window in time, collaborating with Andy and the board of directors, we've doubled the size of Union Rescue Mission in that window in time, from a $25 million nonprofit to our budget this year is $54 million.
That's incredible. Karen, you were right. Everything she said was true.
I told you.
Yes, Union Rescue Mission was formed in 1891. It's the oldest and it was the largest. It's the largest privately funded homeless shelter in Los Angeles, one of the largest, probably the largest privately funded homeless shelter in the country, with zero government funds.
Wow.
Last night we had over 1,350 human beings under roof in our 3 locations. Of those, 950 were moms, dads, and kids. Over 200 were seniors. We do all that with zero government support. It's all privately raised funds from individual donors, foundations, a little corporate money, and a lot of gift in kind from food and things of that nature help us run our organization. And homelessness here in Los Angeles is the worst in the country. The last count from February of 2023 was 78,518 people. It was up 9% for the county, the largest county in the United States, both square miles and number of people at 10 million people. And it just keeps spiraling out of control as the government puts all the money into housing first. Build a building, give them a key, let them get off the streets. But really, 70 to 80% of the human beings that are experiencing homelessness in LA have a mental illness or a substance addiction to alcohol or drugs. And so they're not addressing that. We are doing that here, and that's why we don't take government funds. If you take government money from the city, county, or state, you have to operate your facility under the harm reduction model, which means people are allowed to use drugs and alcohol. I just mentioned we have 950 moms, dads, and kids, 200 seniors. What kind of chaos would that be if we ran our facilities that way? So we're really doing a great job. 85 cents of every dollar is going to help people here at URM. And we just received a perfect 100 score from Charity Navigator. So we're really excited about that. And of the 209 charities in the U.S. rated by Charity Navigator, about 1%, a little over 2,000 of the 209,000, actually filled out the impact and results. And when you supply that to them, it becomes 50% of your score. And we still got a 100 perfect score for that. So we're a well-run organization. Like I said, we've grown by leaps and bounds, and we're thrilled to be connected with Over the Edge. It's been a godsend to us. It's helping contribute to that growth. Our events, when I first came in 2018, were about 900,000. That was mainly a ballroom gala. And now our events bring in over 4.8 million annually.
There's our answer, Karen.
What's it Over the Edge bring? So we I was in the fashion industry for a long time. And the one thing I learned was you need to reinvent yourself every 3 to 5 years. And you always have to look for what's next. If you keep doing the same thing over and over and over, it becomes boring and people will lose interest. And so I bring that energy and that vision and that push to our team that you can't keep doing it the same way. How are you going to make it different? What's going to happen? So anyway, the first event that we changed was our ballroom gala. The pandemic hit 5 days before it was going to happen in 2020, and we were like, "What are we going to do?" And our board voted to cancel it because we couldn't have somebody get ill, get sick, die, whatever. So then here I am in my first full year in this role. It's $1 million item in the budget, and I'm watching other nonprofits stream it online with the board member who has no personality, no skills. How do we take it to the next level? And so we put it on TV. And so instead of $75,000 for a dinner in a ballroom, we paid $18,000 for a small TV station. Put it on TV. Our biggest donor said, "Well, I'll match every dollar. I'll match up to $1 million tonight." And we raised $1.8 million. And then CBS, which owned that smaller station, said, "That was really good. You want to come on CBS next year?" Well, how much is that? And for 90 minutes, it was $68,000. Again, cheaper than a meal for 400 people. And our biggest donor said, "I will match every dollar tonight." And we raised $3.2 million that year. And we never would have done that or thought we had the ability to do that if the pandemic hadn't forced us into find an alternative. And now we're loving that. I mean, we have Natalie Morales as co-host with Joel McHale. We have celebrity shout outs from William Shatner, who's been a donor for 34 years, and many others. Angela Bassett's come alongside of it. She's been a donor and a volunteer here for years. We even had One Republic record from their hotel suite while on tour in Asia, "Rescue Me," their hit song for us that we played one time exclusive thing. And I have a certificate on my wall. We won an Emmy nomination for 2021. So I'm now an Emmy nominated executive producer. Figuring out how to navigate that. I never would have thought that. But so anyway, I had started the walk to fight homelessness, which is about a $500,000 event as a board member. And a member of our team, Tim, who is my director of philanthropy, came to me and said, "Hey, these people reached out from over the edge. It's a different kind of event, rappelling off of buildings." I said, "Hey, well, let me take a look." We take a look. And I don't know if this is scalable. It just seems boutique-y. How many people can raise 1,000 or donate 1,000? How many are going to do
Right.
that? 30, 40, 50? I don't know. We were getting 900 to 1,200 showing up for the walk. It was sign up for $25, get a bunch of goodies, and help the cause.
Yeah.
But then, as Karen mentioned, she told us about Make-A-Wish Foundation in Austin and what they had done. I'm like, bingo, we can do that, and I want in. And so we did that. We did that in 2019. Our first year, we raised $475,000. But I almost killed myself recruiting people. We planned a 2-day event. We only got 66 paid participants, and that was me. I mean, literally, I was working my tail off, morning, noon, and night, trying to get people on board. We wound up giving some free rappel spots to fill the time and have the energy. And so we made it fairly full on Friday and only a half day on Saturday. The next year we had 110 participants. We raised $575,000. And then our biggest donor came to the event that year and told me, I'm going to help make this a $1 million event. And so he gave us a $500,000 match to the event. And so the next year is when we set the new world record, right? We raised 1.1 million thanks to Mr. Scott Minard, who is the chief investment officer at Guggenheim Partners, a big investment firm. And we raised $1.1 million that year. And then he did it again the next year, which was 2022. And we raised about 1.1 million. And then unfortunately, he passed away at the very young age of 63. But his estate said they would match the gift. And so this year, our team internally, we raised $910,000 without the match. And we can now layer on the $600,000 match. They're matching that amount of money. So we actually raised 1.5 million. I think you mentioned 1.2 earlier, Karen, but the final number is 1.5 million.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's a blast. We because our gross revenue is that big. We went to 3 ropes this year, 3 rappel lines, which brought a lot of energy because then you can get these teams. There's a lot of people that are going together, or a parent with their kid, or dad with 2 kids, etc. And so that helped bring a lot of energy. Everybody loves it. Actually, the walk is like the walk is the walk. We've added running to it to try and energize it, but people are thrilled about this. We have a lot of people in their 80s. We have one lady, she's gone over 3 out of 5 years. She's 88 this year. And we've made a video about her and put her on our social media to tell people, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. And we paid for a drone, and we have a film company for it. Might sound like a lot of money to another nonprofit that is doing it on a smaller scale, but if you can get the sponsors and the matching gift part of it figured out, we layered in. So every repeller, every participant that goes over the edge within 3 hours has a personal 1-minute video with energized music, pardon me, energized music, drone footage up over this building. And this building is right next to Universal Studios Hollywood in LA, above the 101 freeway with 1 million cars going by. And they have that to post on social media, email their friends, family, supporters, donors, whatever. And that's about a $20,000 expense that we layer on for that. But we had 150 something participants, and they all had that, spreading the word all over. And almost every year, we have the local TV station show up and interview our CEO or catch on what's going on.
Yeah. I think that's one of my favorite parts. You guys, in the video concept of delivering it within 3 hours. I know it was the first year you guys tried it. It was really labor intensive to get all the video, but I think you've nailed down the formula. And it's so wonderful for the participants to receive that. And like you said, again, more marketing. They're going to post it on social. They're going to tag Union Rescue Mission. And they're going to get that word out to allow you guys to attract more donors and more awareness to your cause. And it's
because basically
so unique.
Right? And I mean, for me, I just want to show off.
Yeah. Exactly.
That I bring to the mission that's making the biggest difference? I would say a passion and energy that has changed the culture of the organization. There's a lot of people that have said that. I've had donors say that they were affiliated with the organization and they participate and go over the edge, and said that I changed the culture here by what I brought. And so that is, bring your A game. It doesn't have to be perfection, but excellence. That's the message I preach all the time. I'm not expecting perfection, but we're not doing C- mediocre things. We're doing everything with excellence. And I think Karen and her team have seen that with how we execute over the edge and how we do it. And we think outside the box, and we're always, okay, evolve. Like we brought the drone in this year, and last year we added, everybody had a personal video. We had GoPros the first year and stuff like that, but it was hard to utilize that and get that to people quickly. So we're like, hey, let's spend the money and just really do it well. So it's that kind of thinking. So it's do it with excellence, think outside the box. And the people that our team here has embraced that, especially the philanthropy department that's under my leadership has done that well. I had a board member tell me this morning, no doubt that has happened. The board can see that passion, that energy, and that it's an expectation. The bar is here. That's where we're going. We're not accepting it down low. So,
well, I have to tell you that I think that reputation precedes you, because that is all Karen and her team have spoken about. And I was, like I said, I was so excited to meet you, and Karen and I were just giggling to meet you. So thank you again for joining us.
My pleasure. I love we love you, and you brought this really super cool event.
I know.
And we love it. It's the most. It's a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun doing the TV show too. I get to meet a lot of really cool people and some celebrities. I'm kind of bored with the walk and the run. It's a lot of work, and it's more challenging to make that go. But over the edge, I've got a bunch of donors at 70s and 80s, and they're taking the leap. And we have some cool folks. We have Dan Hauser. He is one of the co-founders of Rockstar Games at Grand Theft Auto. He now lives in LA. He's got a heart for homelessness. Him and his entire team that's here in LA have taken the leap and gone over the edge with us. And it's really cool to meet some really neat people that are passionately care about making a difference in the city with the worst problem in the country.
Yeah. That's incredible. And I just wanted to remind our listeners that you can check out Union Rescue Mission at www.urm.org or on all the social media channels, Union Rescue Mission on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Richard. What is coming up between now and the holidays for Union Rescue Mission? Do you have anything going on?
We are... one of the things that it's like I mentioned, we doubled the organization over the last 5 years financially, is we are thanking our donors in an amazing way. So we created an impact report. Last time we did an annual report in 2019, my first year here, and then we haven't done anything like that. And we printed a beautiful 20-page booklet, shows the state of homelessness, the magnitude of our work, and our ambition to do more. So we've been writing handwritten personal notes. Each donor officer, myself, CEO, et cetera, have their own personal stationery. We're writing a thank you note for the people, thanking them for their impact to do this work. But then we're turning around and we're sending everybody, our top 5,000 donors, a handwritten thank you card for Thanksgiving with a link to a video about a mom who lived along the railroad tracks, addicted to drugs, turned her life around, had a baby at our Hope Gardens Family Center, and now is on to a better life. But we're handwriting notes to 5,000 donors, and then we're going to turn right around in December and write a handwritten Christmas card. And we're not going to ask for a donation from anybody, and we're just going to let their heart, lead where they go. So they're doing a lot of thanking to end the fiscal year. And, hopefully that's going to bode well for the organization. And then we'll turn around and start gearing up for the TV special that airs in April.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot to be thankful for. It's been a really great year for Union Rescue Missions. So
we do. I would say though, that first fiscal quarter, July through October, other than over the edge, it was challenging. Stock market in the U.S. and all has been tough, and it's been on fire the last 2 weeks. So I hope it goes up all the way to the end of the year. And people are like, boy, my accounts are flush. I want to write a big fancy impact report. URM is a perfect 100 charity navigator. I'm going to do a gift. That's what we're doing here.
That's incredible. Thank you again, Richard, for joining us. It has been such a pleasure. And I'm so happy that I finally got to meet you. So thank you again for joining us. I appreciate
Thank you so
it.
much. Thank you, guys.
Take care.
It's a pleasure. Take care.
Well,
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Will do. Bye-bye.
He's so great. I have a man crush. Hi, Chelsea. Welcome, Chelsea. How are you? Nice to meet
wonderful.
you.
I'm good to be here as well.
I'm Karen Coulter, and this is my co-host, Karen Wolf. We're the Karens.
Karen Squared. I love it.
She's the Chief Experience Officer at Over the Edge. So we're so happy to have you today. And we want to talk a bit about how Over the Edge has benefited your building and what exactly you want to do in terms of your charitable work.
Well, I think Over the Edge and Union Rescue Mission we have a lot of synergy with community is a core value of our, not only the Hilton brand, but our company as a whole. So we really believe in rooting ourselves in the hearts and minds of Los Angeles and more than just a theme park hotel and catering to tourists coming to the park.
Right.
I mean, we are involved in a number of organizations and Over the Edge being one of them, which we look forward to many times a year. And it continues to inspire us to do more. Each and every time we have an opportunity to support a local organization or charity, we jump. And so I think partnering with Over the Edge over the years has inspired us and, resonates with who we are as a company.
Excellent. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, how do you feel that does the giving back does it influence the people in terms of coming to the hotel, or how do you see the giving back that you do influence the community?
I think it just keeps us top of mind.
Yeah.
I think people also want to do business with people they like, and who doesn't want to work with a company who continues to give back to their community. And we try to live by that principle. Yes, we are a for-profit company and very busy and very profitable, but we do take our corporate responsibility to give back to our community very seriously, and which is one of the reasons of many that I love working for this company, because they believe in their people and the community. We love our community, and so I think it keeps us top of mind, being involved in so many different endeavors within different chambers, different organizations, and people just want to do business with companies they like.
Absolutely.
Right? Hopefully we're inspiring others.
It's been a privilege for Over the Edge to be able to work with your team. And I say that year over year, when we have a building partner, that when the synergy is so great with the nonprofit and the synergy is so great with Over the Edge, it just becomes a perfect match for how we want to execute our business and how we want to support all of the communities that we go to. So thank you for being willing to make a difference in LA, especially with Union Rescue Mission. And I know Homes for Families as well. They actually host 2 events, Karen. I don't know if you know that. They host 2 a year.
Wow.
So they give back to the community twofold for 2 different organizations that really try to make a difference and really support the community of LA. So yeah, it's been wonderful for us to be able to have this partnership continue for so long.
That's great. Chelsea, are you able to let our listeners know where we can reach you? Where are you in LA exactly?
You can't miss us. If you're on the 101, you can even see Rappellers coming down the building. And and we're next to this small theme park, Universal Studios Hollywood.
Little.
That keeps us very busy. So yes, we're in Studio City, Universal City. Actually, a lot of people sometimes don't know Universal City is actually its own city. And we are right off of the 101. You cannot miss us.
That's great. And I'm assuming we can find you on all social media handles as well.
Absolutely.
Yep.
We have a number of social media channels. Our most recent is experiencethehill.com.
Oh, wow.
Part of our recent actually launch coming up next month, we're launching Holidays on the Hill to again reach out to our community and give a month-long opportunity to get into the holiday season and get Angelinos to the hill and learning about the hill. And you can experiencethehill.com has all of that information. There's 4 activations. There's going to be our version of Coachella, a 2-weekend event festival, photos with Santa all month long. Why go to the Grove when you can come to the hill?
That's right.
Yeah. For a fraction of the cost. We also have Jingle Bell Tavern, which is a pop-up holiday theme bar, and we are gearing up. Cafe Sierra is over the past 3 decades has been a staple of our hotel and the community. We are getting ready this Thanksgiving to serve over 2,000 local Los Angeles families, not 2,000 families, 2,000 guests.
Yeah.
And then roll right into Holidays on the Hill. So please check out experiencethehill.com, and The Hill LA is our Instagram handle.
That's excellent. Thank you so much. That sounds exciting. Karen, we're going.
I know.
Yeah.
I want to go to all of it.
All of the things.
Let us know.
All the things. I just started decorating.
I
just started decorating for the holidays, so I'm getting in the spirit.
Hard to believe they're here already.
I know. It's going to be great, though. Thank you for joining us, Chelsea. It was such a pleasure.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure.
So Karen and I are going to come to the next event, and the 3 of us are going to rappel together.
Okay.
That's the
all
plan.
Right. My team will
You don't sound convinced, Chelsea.
She doesn't at all. This is being recorded, and I'm going to send it to your team.
They'll be excited.
Yes.
All right. Well,
thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you,
Enjoy the partnership. We treasure it and look forward to our next event.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Chelsea.
Have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So now is the time where we're going to talk about the next segment, which is Over the Year. And this is where we preview the upcoming events, corporate events, upcoming podcasts, everything that you have to see and hear and do. And I'll give it to you, Karen, to tell us what's coming up next for Over the Edge.
Yes, we have a few events on our schedule. Obviously, we're winding down a little bit coming into the holiday season, but we are still moving forward with lots of action. We are going to be in Worcester, Massachusetts for Canines for Disabled Kids, a nice chilly event on the East Coast. And we're also going to be going to our team with Special Olympics out in Phoenix, Arizona. So we're very excited to be working with both of those organizations. They are repeat events, 3 years. Third-year event for Canines for Disabled Kids, and we are going into the 10th event for Special Olympics in Phoenix. So very excited to be back to work with them. And obviously, we're really excited again to continue our podcast series, and we're going to include Jean Milligan, the Executive Director of Pro Action Cops and Kids, coming off their first event from Toronto this summer. And we're also going to be talking to Tourism Toronto about the impact of charity events on the local economy and how it brightens up and gives back in the 416.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to that. It'll be you and me again. It'll be great. And I just want to remind everyone again to listen to our podcast. Please subscribe anywhere you listen to podcasts, iTunes, Spotify. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can go to youtube.com/@GoOverTheEdge. To see us and hear us and all the great things that we have coming up. I think one more time, we need to thank our sponsors. Now, you mentioned that it's going to be chilly in Worcester.
That's right.
So we want to thank Columbia again.
Yes, of course we do. We want to thank Columbia, obviously, with their Omni Heat, keeping us warm and making sure that we are going to be not only warm of heart with all of the lovely people that we get to talk to on this podcast, but also warm with our gear. So you can find Columbia at your leading retailer or order directly at columbia.com or columbiasportswear.ca.
Now, Karen, really quickly, before we head off, what's something that you took away from today's podcast with our 2 guests? It was so great to have these guests. They're so philanthropic. What did you take away from it, or what is resonating with you?
I think it's just always wonderful to hear from our clients that they love what Over the Edge is able to do for them. But at the same time, I love seeing the impact they get to make in the community, and Chelsea being able to speak to the give back that the Hilton is able to provide, really how it connected to their mission, to their organization on a whole. And it's just really neat to see all of the things align across the board and what Over the Edge is so passionate about.
Right.
And then understanding how that fits into Richard's mission, but then also that even the Hilton, that's what they look to do to give back as part of their organization. So I think it's just really great for me to understand again why we do what we do. And I think sometimes, like we said before, you get busy, the holidays are coming up, of course, there's lots happening.
Yeah.
But really being able to understand the impact at the end of the year of where we've been able to make and help make an impact and really help some of our clients is just always wonderful. So that's really my takeaway, is that it reignites my passion for what we do.
That's incredible. That's great to hear. Now for me, the same, just I'm not coming from the Over the Edge background, but in terms of the passion, you can feel it succeeding. And most of all,
exactly. And I think that's one of the things that it's, like I said, it's always been so great for us to be able to really connect with our clients, because sometimes obviously there's a lot of logistics and it's planned.
Absolutely. So, can tell by our smiles.
Exactly.
Every time. Awesome. Okay. Thank you, Karen. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah. I'll see you next time, Karen.
The Karens will be back. Thank you for listening, everybody. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.